Hello, everybody. Today I'm gonna teach you about areas that the moose might be in. You see all these guys hunting fresh cuttings. Well, that ain't where the moose gonna be, anyways. But they can hunt where they want. I don't care. But if they listen, they'd probably get more moose than anything. But here in Maine, most of the moose stay around swamps. Everybody knows that. But what I am saying is, see, there's a swamp right there, down that side, right down in there. And here's a cutting that's been cut over. It was probably 3 years ago, and it's nice and thick in here. And they got all kinds of plants they can eat, and everything, and they're safe in here. You see, can't see very far, and you can see where the moose have actually plowed their own little paths through it, like right there, right in that. There's a path that a moose just pushed through, so he can walk easier. Because you can tell where the moose are going to be and where they're not going to be. And moose, they eat lily pads, they eat grass, they're, all kinds of stuff. So, big difference is where you hunt. Because sometimes, you hunt in a good area, you might hunt in something like this, but there's just no moose there. Because they've sort of been over-hunted, or they're just, there even can be a bunch of moose, but they're all cows. I've had that happen. We were guiding someone, and he got a district that we weren't familiar with, and we brought him down there, and he saw all kinds of cows. We even had a little calf follow us. I'm talking about, like, from that pine tree right there, to me, where we're standing right now, following us up a cutting, going back to the trucks. But we just didn't have any. The bulls weren't there. The guy only had a week to hunt, and down to the last day, and finally he did shoot one. It was a good sized one too, but boy, we didn't think he was going to get one. And on top of that, he had to shoot it 3 times. It's what I don't realize why people do this, but they bring a caliber weapon that isn't sufficient for the animal they're hunting. Like that guy, he brought a .243. That wasn't going to do a thing on the moose. He had to waste, he wasted a lot of meat by putting so many rounds into it. He put 5-6 rounds into it, and then, he finally put another clip in, and the moose just limping away, and he put another shell in it, and finally dropped. But I couldn't believe that. I was mad at that guy for bringing that. But hey, he paid for the hunt, but we told him that he should have brought something bigger, and we offered it to him the 30-06 or 300 Win Mag too, but he didn't take it. So, well, my neighbor is the one that guides, and the guy didn't take the 300 Win Mag. He didn't take anything. He took his .243, and it wasn't enough gun at all. So it actually kind of pees me off that that guy would actually think about doing that, because that animal was suffering that much time, and it actually pees me off that he did that a lot. So when you're going hunting, you bring the right gun for the right job. You don't think, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring 22 and we'll shoot a deer. Certain 22s are good for deer. Like a 22 mag, that'll kill a deer. It's just you gotta know where to hit. You gotta hit exactly where it needs to be hit, and that's the only place you can hit it, or else the deer's gonna walk off on you and not even be phased. And you're just gonna be tracking that deer forever and ever for nothing. Shot placement is everything. Because you can kill a bear with a 22 if you really need to. It's all about shot placement. But also, I definitely wouldn't shoot any big game with 22, obviously, myself. But hey, people do it every day. So, my tips is, new cuttings are a no-no. The moose don't really like those. They'll walk around the woods on the edge of it, and that's it. They'll keep going through without you even seeing them in the cuttings. The older ones, they feel more comfortable to walk out in them, and that's good. So remember, bring kid hunting, enjoy the outdoors with them, and they'll thank you. And hunt safely. I'm Ivan Boyer.